And lastly, we have the Honorable Member for Githunguri, Honorable Gathoni Wamuchomba, then we'll close that debate.
Thank you very much. I'm honored indeed to participate and to be on record that I have supported this bill because this is what we have been waiting for, Madam Speaker. I am a member of many cooperatives in my society, in my community, in my constituency, because obviously you know that Githunguri is one of the biggest producers of milk in the Republic of Kenya. Actually, we are the people who manage the largest milk cooperative society in Kenya and largely in East Africa. Madam Speaker, if there is anything that has made most of the producer activities in agriculture retrogress, is the mismanagement of producer cooperatives and the death of the sector in that matter. Madam Speaker, there are many cooperatives that owned even many buildings in Nairobi after having made profits in the past. When I was growing up, farmers from Murang'a owned the whole of Kirinyaga Road. Farmers from Kiambu were lending other countries money. I remember the Kiambu municipality used to lend Tanzania money that came from producer cooperatives. But something happened along the way, Madam Speaker. People who retired from civil servants, people who were fired for misconduct in government, went down to those producer cooperatives and bribed their way into the management of cooperative societies. And they laundered and stole the money that were meant to grow the cooperative societies and put those cooperative societies to death. As we speak, Madam Speaker, we had very large cooperative society that owned Imenti House, for example, and many other houses you see down at River Road, near Kikorok Road. And those cooperative societies today, Madam Speaker, they are indebted. They are supposed to be selling off those assets to cover running costs. I am very excited, Madam Speaker, that finally this bill is bringing back the vibrant spirit of cooperative, the successes that we read in our history. Madam Speaker, I am particularly very happy with part 10 of this bill that is going to restrict and limit the borrowing power of people who are going to be entrusted in running the producer cooperatives. In the past, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, there are people who went ahead, borrowed money on behalf of producer cooperatives, and enlisted the assets of such cooperatives and ran away with the loot, only to leave our farmers and our producers desperate and hopeless. I am excited, Madam Speaker, that the accountability and restrictions of loans and investments that are going to be handled by producer cooperatives are going to be limited, and the power to borrow, the power to invest must be accounted for by the cooperative commissioners. Madam Speaker, as I sit down, I am happy that part 11 of this bill has given out a very good way of how cooperative societies are going to amalgamate. In the past, Mr. Speaker, we have had cooperatives deciding on how they are going to divide the cooperative and bring up another fresh cooperative without the blessings of the majority of the owners and shareholders of cooperatives. I am happy that finally the spirit of cooperative is going to come back. We need to give our farmers the benefit that it is time for them to go back to their farms, produce as much, because there is a new law that is going to protect their sweat and their energy. I am supporting this bill. I can't wait to see it pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Wamuchomba. Now let's go to the next order. Sorry, I forgot. Where is the mover? Mover, you may proceed.
Okay. Honorable Speaker.
Unless you give her your minute.
Yeah, with your indulgence, Honorable Speaker, let me allow the Honorable Sabina to, Honorable Sabina.
No,
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to...
No. Honorable, I've only allowed Honorable Sabina to take some of your time. Then, yes, and then you also do it very briefly, and then we can
Yes, Madam
proceed to
Speaker.
the next order.
Thank you very much, and I want to really thank the mover of this bill. Madam Speaker, I came running because I needed to speak and say I support this bill 100%. Cooperatives, Madam Speaker, originated originally from Murang'a, as Honorable Wamuchomba has mentioned. By the time cooperative society in Murang'a County, back then in the 60s and 70s, could lend money to the national government. So, Madam Speaker, I am so happy that we are going to manage these cooperatives. I stand here to honor one man, the late Mushiri, who was a cooperative officer, who actually became the president of cooperatives in the entire Africa, and he was from Murang'a County, specifically Maragua constituency, specifically Kamahoha village. So, Madam Speaker, as I support, there's only one element, maybe I don't know where the honorable member can add into this bill. We had cooperatives university. Then it was cooperatives college, which strictly trained students on management of cooperatives. And that's why we are having many loopholes, because we turned all our technical institutes, all our colleges to universities, and we diverged from what we were training before. So the mover of the bill, as you move, let's see how we can be able to incorporate the training of cooperators so that even the young people can join cooperatives and help their elderly parents in management. I really thank you even for donation of that 1 minute, and I support.
Okay, mover, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want first to take this opportunity to thank all the honorable members that have contributed to this bill. And Honorable Speaker, to also appreciate the immense support that the honorable members have accorded to this bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the unison way that this bill has been supported clearly shows that it was really timely. It came in timely. And it really indeed that this is what Kenyans needed at this point in time, especially on matters coming together and putting resources together. Also, Speaker, as I reply to this bill, I wish to remind the public and even the honorable members that the bill's intent is rooted in under Article 186 of the Constitution, and is part of a broader national cooperative policy whose intent, Honorable Speaker, is to harmonize the cooperative governance across the counties and ensuring uniform standards while respecting devolution, Honorable Speaker. Because the act that we had, Honorable Speaker, before in regard to the management of the cooperatives, Honorable Speaker, then did not really consider the devolved units. And that is why it's very important that we harmonize this between the counties and the national government and make it easy, of course, for the management, Honorable Speaker. This also, Honorable Speaker, this bill also addresses the issues of the sectoral challenges that arises from the management, from the governance and financial resilience, which, of course, seeks to improve the cooperative governance by embedding principles of transparency and strong financial oversight, and thereby protecting members' investment. Because we all live in this country, we've seen people coming up, Honorable Speaker, with SACCOs, what they call SACCOs or cooperatives, and they hoodwink the Kenyans whose genuine intent of growing their wealth end up, of course, putting such investments in what they imagine would be positive impacts on growing their wealth, and they end up, of course, having those people steal their funds. And this is really prone in the entire country. This is something that everybody has faced. Some pose as cooperatives, but they end up to be pyramid schemes. We all know of the pyramid schemes that have been in existence in this country, including the DESI and all the others. And you've even seen the men of cloth, Honorable Speaker, forming cooperatives or things that they imagine would be cooperatives, and tell people we want to buy land, we want to buy property. They would weak Kenyans, and then they con them in, while carrying the Bible, billions and billions of money, Honorable Speaker. And then I don't know where their words of you'll go to heaven without anything. I don't know whether themselves, as men of cloth, will be going to heaven carrying those billions that they've stolen from people in the name of cooperatives, Honorable Speaker. So this bill seeks to resolve such challenges because of the nature of management and transparency that is involved in this whole in this bill, Honorable Speaker, and the structure of governance, you know, which is with the clear operational structures. It really help in guarding the resources of the members of the public, Honorable Speaker. And finally, Honorable Speaker, the involvement of the public in this bill was very vital, because the committee went, and even the involvement of the secretariat, our secretariat that went back to the villages to listen to the common man, Honorable Speaker, to listen to them. You will see the burning desire the common man has, the burning desire the Kenyans have in having their investment put in safe places, the investment packaged in good places where they can put their trust in. Because nowadays, Honorable Speaker, it becomes very difficult to understand, to differentiate between the genuine places for investment and the fake ones. And from the public participation, Honorable Speaker, that was conducted, what came out clearly is that Kenyans want to be sure. Kenyans want to be sure that indeed the cooperatives law has been clearly streamlined to make sure that their money, Honorable Speaker, is safe and secure, Honorable Speaker. And the bill, as drafted, Honorable Speaker, has really been simplified for any person to understand in a very basic language, very, very basic, from the level of dividing the tires, primary tire, secondary tire, tertiary tire, just to make Kenyans understand that it's a very basic, it's a law that incorporates all their demands, but with very basic terms of reference or language that is easily understandable, Honorable Speaker. So I really want to appreciate the members for supporting this bill, which is very crucial for a sustainable, competitive cooperative sector aligned with the national cooperative policy, Honorable Speaker. So by passing this legislation, Honorable Speaker, this floor, Honorable Speaker, will support, this House, Honorable Speaker, will support a modern cooperative sector that upholds cooperative principles, strengthens economic inclusion, and fosters unity across Kenya's counties. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to reply. Thank you.
Thank you. We shall put the question at a later date. Now we can move to the next order.
Order number 9, Committee of the Whole House.